Hey, I'm Pascal from Orangepixel. Welcome to another video. I have no video for today, or at least I had no idea for today's video. And honestly, right now I'm recording the video and at this point I have no idea where we're gonna end. So it's gonna be one of those rambling videos. I actually didn't want to make a video, but since I'm doing it every week, I think I'm gonna hate myself for skipping a week. Possibly. So we're gonna do a video about game development things. We'll figure out something. Let's see where this video ends. Okay, so one of the things I have been thinking about recently, the last couple of years actually, I'm turning 50 later this year, but also I've been doing this since I was 27. Full-time game development, Orangepixel, started in 2004, solo, alone, no company, just this is my office. This is also my happy place. Every morning I just roll out of bed. The first thing I visit or do is run into this office, turn on the computer, open up Discord, email, and just work. Sometimes I forget to go downstairs just to be downstairs and then get back upstairs and behind my desk. This is still my happy place. And every now and then I forget that this is a luxury. Not having the office, it's a nice office, I'm very happy with the office, but the luxury of working from home, being my own boss, it's everything I wanted it to be. When I started back in 2004, my whole idea was not to start a company and start a career. I wanted to create games and started selling them, and it rolled into something that I've been doing now for 22 years. And that means a lot of positive things, a few negative things. The positive things are, first of all, a weird one, but I don't have to set an alarm, like never. Luckily, I always wake up around 8, usually a little bit earlier, so I don't need an alarm, but I also don't have to set an alarm. I don't have to go into traffic. I don't have to go, I don't know, drive for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever amount of time people drive to their job these days. I don't have to do those things. I have never had to do those things. If I want to have a day off, I can have a day off. I'll get to that in a minute, because in theory that's the case. I don't have a boss. I don't have anybody telling me what to do and how to do it, and I love that. Actually, I think that's probably the best thing. I can just manage my own and myself and do my own stuff and come up with my own weird ideas and do them. That's a lot of luxury. Of course, also working from home, and my wife has her own company, so she's also working most or a lot of time from home. We get to see a lot of each other and we get to talk a lot. All those things are luxuries. The negative side of all of this, and I never thought about that when I started it, I just rolled into it. Money, always a thing, but even if you have a job, that can still be a thing. So we'll put it on the list of a negative, because there is no safety net. There in the Netherlands, if you have a normal job, you have some sort of safety nets. If you lose your job because you're just, I don't know, not needed anymore, or your boss fires you for whatever other reason, there's a safety net, and you can, let's put it crudely, hold up your hand and they will throw you a little bit money in there every month until you're back on your feet or have another job, or there's a lot of rules and things there. That safety net is not there if you're self-employed, which is still a very weird thing, because I do have to pay my share of that safety net for others. But once it's my time, if something goes very wrong with my company, that safety net will not be available to me. Those are laws and rules. Okay. Now, especially if your company is doing bad, that could be a very worrying thing. Right now, Orangepixel is doing very well, so no worry for me on that front. But it is always looming there. If I get very sick, the company, nobody else will be working either. So everything falls on me as one person. Of course, you could create a studio with multiple people working for you, and that can be changed, but then you have a lot of other things on that negative list, because now you're managing other people, paying for other people, also paying for them if they are sick. That list is a very different list. Let's not go into that. Now, the The thing on that negative list that's been nagging me the most or bugging me the most in recent few years, I still have to go 20 years from now until my pension age, and then it's still gonna be questionable if I actually have enough money for a pension set aside, and whatever comes from the government at that point. 20 years is such a long time. Who knows what happens to any of us? But that's still like such a long time to go. Well, it's not 20 years, it's now 17 or 18 years roughly still to go doing this, doing game development, creating games, releasing games in a landscape that's changing extremely quickly. Game landscape is, I mean, obviously AI is entering everything in our society. In the world of games, it's also entering. That means, I think, a certain type of game, the very simple, casual type of game, that will vanish. If you're making games in that genre, they're probably going to be gone, because people will just be able to write a prompt or click on a random dice button and a new game pops up created by AI. It's not going to be very difficult to do that. I think there's already options for that now. In 5 years or 10 years from now, that's just going to be standard stuff. The casual, simple games are generated automatically, fully, completely, no programmer needed. So you have to already be a little bit above that. You need to create games that are longer, I think, bigger in terms of time investment from a player. Also, that makes it much harder to auto-generate with AI. So you can actually stand apart from something that every developer will be able to do by typing a prompt. So you need to have a more interesting world, more interesting mechanics. You need to add a lot more to your game. Luckily, I think I am already in that zone. My games are bigger. I spend more time on it to create a whole world and have various mechanics in my games. I think my games are already on that level, but of course, if everybody has to move in that direction, every quality bar will be raised, I guess. So AI is coming, and right now I'm turning 50 later this year, but I know there's a lot of people in their 20s starting their game career, and yeah, it's gonna be rough for you out there. I think, I'm guessing here, but let's imagine you also have to work until you're what, 65, 67, 70. That's gonna shift in all the countries to a higher age because we're all getting older and older. So you'll have to make a game career or programming development career for 40 years at least, battling technologies like this. Of course, hardware is going to change. There's going to be so many things happening in the next few decades. There might be new opportunities there for sure, but a lot of generated stuff is also happening. Again, this is going to be like, this is really a rambling video. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's just every now and then I keep thinking about it, that I still have to go 17 years creating games. And the problem for me also is that I have been living this luxurious lifestyle, rolling out of bed, into the office, do my own thing, stop when I'm done. And I'm not sure if I could even work for a boss. I'm not even sure if I could get out of bed in the morning, travel to a job and have somebody else tell me what to do. That would be such a weird difference in my lifestyle that I'm not sure how that would actually work out, if it would work out. Of course, also I mentioned one positive thing is that I have that luxurious lifestyle of being able to take off. I can, if I don't want to work today, I actually don't want to work today, I can just grab a book or a movie or something and sit downstairs and not be bothered with work, in theory. However, in all those years that I've been doing this, I think Aline and I have 1 week of vacation each year and maybe a few days off here and there. most of the time, even though we can take a day off whenever we want, you don't do those things if it's your own company. Because if you're not working at your job and you're the only one there, there is nobody working, and you still want to keep creating things or keep the business going forward, whatever you do. Of course, I'm creating games. Aline is doing other things. She has orders. If she takes a day off, the orders keep coming in, but nobody's running those orders. Nobody is packing up the boxes and shipping them to the client because she would be taking a day off. And that means the next day you have double the amount of orders and then you have to catch up. So even though in theory you can take a day off whenever you want or a few hours less of work, at some point you'll either have to catch up or you simply don't, because you rather just work. That's the downside and the upside of being self-employed. Not so much indie game developer, just being self-employed. That's just a difficult thing to do, just taking a few days off. And I also noticed the last few weeks I've been going from game to game to game. Last week somebody on the Discord mentioned that there's not a lot of prototype stuff happening on my Discord anymore, or things that are just created and then abandoned. That's mostly because every idea I had has turned into a game. Residual, after that we had Gaunt of Power, I think, Regulators, now the new Ashfield game, or before that Chrono Shard, which is also still a game that I have to release. But all these projects went from prototype to a full game and release, and there has not been any time in between where I was just having fun with stuff and not pushing it to something that I could release as a job, as part of the company, or just for fun. So I noticed that I'm maybe getting a little bit tired here and there. So I've been taking a few days off, actually. It's simply because I had to. I felt tired, which is not a good thing. Now don't worry, I'm okay. But every now and then I have to take care of these things, and I have to make sure I'm not tired. I'm not in my 20s anymore where I would just, I don't know, even after dinner I would still work into the midnight hours or even the early morning, and then the next day I would just be up and full of energy again. That's simply not the case anymore. This body cannot handle that, and this mind certainly can't either. So I can't work that many hours anymore, and every now and then I just need to take a day off, or I'll run into a wall. I guess that's what's happening. So right now I'm taking a few days. I've taken it not a few days off, but I am taking it a little bit more relaxed. Work a few hours less, and that also meant for this week's video I just had no content. I love doing these weekly videos. I have always loved doing these videos, but the negative of this is that every week I have to perform. I have to find something to talk about on this channel. I have to, not so much for you guys, probably. Maybe I could just sit here and stare at you for 10 minutes and that would be a video as well. But for myself, I want to have something and upload it and just have something released out there, which is a weird driving force, I guess. Not needed, but I have it. So I also had to, for this week, I just figured, let go. And I wasn't planning on doing the video, but then Aline also said, you're gonna hate yourself for not doing it. Perhaps, maybe. So I just turned on the camera, and now we're here at minute 14 and a half. And I have not made a real point, I think, except that, yeah, or maybe I did make a few points. First, if you're getting into the business right now, if you are in your 20s, think about what you're getting into. World and the landscape is changing a lot. Do you really know or do you want to do this for 40 years? And do you know if it's possible? Or also make sure you learn different skills to do other things as well. Or ignore all of that. I certainly did when I got into it, and that world was also very different from now. So maybe that's just I don't know, something to think about, but not too much, not overthink it. Just keep it in mind that it's gonna be difficult creating games for 40 years. Even I'm not sure if I can manage that amount, and I still have 17 to go, at least. And I guess the second point is that make sure you appreciate and enjoy a good lifestyle if you have it. I honestly appreciate the fact that I can just roll into my office at any time and in my own home, and I don't have to travel and all that stuff. I appreciate it a lot, and that's the biggest bonus of this job or running my own company. The second bonus is I get to create games all day. Like every day I'll just dig into games and create games, create my own world, and that's what I love and that's my passion. So I get to enjoy all of that as well in my own office. Not sure if that's a tip for anybody out there, but it's something to strive for sure. And that's it. I'm done rambling. Like I said, I have no idea where this video is gonna end, and I still don't know, but I think it's gonna end here. Think this is it. Next week I hope to have some stuff about Ashworld 2, or maybe I'll talk about Chrono Shard. You'd almost forgot that I'm actually working on one game, but have another game ready to go. Just that a few minor things here and there, but we have a PlayStation version up and running for PlayStation 4. The PlayStation 5 version is almost done, up and running. Switch 1 and Switch 2 versions are ready to go. PC version for Steam and Epic is already ready to go. We're almost there, and I can almost release that new game while working on the next new game. And in between all that, I'm gonna take a few days off here and there. That's for sure. So for now, thanks for watching for this rambling video. Like, subscribe, comment below if you want or not. No keyword for this week's video because I can't be bothered coming up with one. Just want to thank you for watching up to this point, and hopefully see you next week with some better content. All right, bye.